mean, if people think too much about life and right and wrong and all of this shit, just fucking do what makes you happy at the end of the day. Is that your...
Said every serial killer ever?
Erroneous.
I didn't hear you.
I'm sorry, should a serial killer be a serial killer because it makes them happy?
As long as you're doing doesn't affect other people, I don't really give a...
Killer kills
Yeah,
people.
everything you do affects other people. Everything.
I'm sorry.
There's nothing you do which does not affect other people. Nothing. Right now you're speaking, that affects other people. Okay, you going to the grocery store, that affects other people. You having a job, it affects other people. You spending money, it affects other people.
In a negative way.
The idea that everything you do doesn't affect other people is absurd. Everything you do
Doc
does.
Vinably donated $199. Brixon, I see you brought the Brain Trust featuring Nicolette. Angelic will end up with prize hubby. Nicolette, you will always be the disposable side chick.
Doc, thank you for the TTS, man. Appreciate it. Nicolette, you want to respond to Doc?
Love you. Keep donating.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Doc. Appreciate it. Andrew, did you want to continue on with...
Yeah, I just like to point this out, that the idea that do whatever you want because it makes you happy as long as it doesn't affect other people, in and of itself is absurd, because basically everything you do affects somebody else. Almost everything I can think of really affects somebody else. So if that is the case, then doesn't it make it everybody's business what you do ultimately, because it does have some effect on them?
Well, clearly you don't give a fuck what you do, how it affects other people, because you insulted me earlier by using a term I didn't even know. So you're a hypocrite once again.
But everybody.
Yeah, but you said everybody's a hypocrite.
We say the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. So you're
if everybody's a hypocrite, it's meaningless, right? That's a meaningless term at that point. You're just saying all of us have. It's like saying everybody's a human. It just doesn't mean anything if all of us are like. What does that mean? It's not saying anything anymore. And the reason you use an argument from hypocrisy is because you have no arguments. You don't even know it's fallacious. And so what you do is you use arguments from hypocrisy because you view hypocrisy as being like that of a thief or that of somebody who has nefarious intentions, and that's not even what it means. You don't even know what the hell you're talking about. So backing up real quick, even if I was a hypocrite, can you negate my argument or not?
What is your argument? Because you went a little off
track. My argument is that everything people do affects other people. So just making the blanket statement, wait a second, you should be able to do whatever you want as long as it doesn't affect anybody, doesn't mean anything.
Can I speak?
Yeah.
Okay, so as long as it doesn't affect people in a negative way.
Yeah, but how do you make that determination?
How do you make any determination of anything?
That's what I'm at. Well, I'm asking, I think we know how we make determinations of things. We would use intuition, feelings, logic, reason, all sorts of different things.
And according to my feelings, reason, logic, I don't think what I'm doing is hurting other people except you, because you seem really triggered right now.
I seem triggered? You're the one who's freaking out. You've been freaking out. The entire panel, you've been freaking out.
Maybe if I had a cigarette, I'd be just
And by the way, just saying you're freaking out, also not an argument. I wish you would actually respond to the argument. Do people not use intuition and logic and reason to make all sorts of judgment evaluations all the time? And often they're correct, right?
I literally just addressed that.
So the answer is yes, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so, I mean, don't you think intuitively most people, for instance, wouldn't let their 6-year-old watch your OnlyFans?
Yes.
Yeah, why?
Because it's illegal?
No, even if it was legal, do you think they would then?
So that would go against my morals.
Poor
that's not answering my question.
Donated $200. If I did one push-up every time the guntastic Nicolette said something profoundly idiotic, I'd look like Hercules by the end of the stream.
Yeah, but this doesn't answer my question. I'm not asking if it's legal, and I'm not asking if it's moral. I'm asking if you think people would just let them do that because it was legal. Obviously, they wouldn't, right?
Well, in other countries, 6-year-olds are legal, and they're marrying adults. So, yeah, they probably would.
That's not legal.
Yeah, we're talking about here in the United States, the country that we're in.
So you said it doesn't matter if it's illegal, right?
Yeah, even if it was not illegal, most people would still not let their children watch your OnlyFans page, right?
Well, that's probably not true, because if you go to other countries...
It's not true?
He's talking about America.
So wait, you think if it was not a crime... So I just want to make sure I got this right. If it wasn't a crime, you think most mothers would allow their 6-year-olds to watch your just want to make sure we got this clear.
Well, a lot of mothers in other countries marry off their 6-year-olds.
No, mothers in other countries aren't letting their 6-year-olds watch OnlyFans. What delusional shit. And what type of methamphetamine are you smoking that you think in other countries mothers are letting their children watch OnlyFans? Girl, where did you come up with this bullshit?
I'm not saying it's right, but by your logic, you're saying, oh, if it wasn't illegal in other countries where is not illegal, that's illegal here, they're doing
like
crazy
what?
shit. I just said, for example, marrying off their 6-year-olds.
Yeah, that's a completely distinct argument from this one that I'm making. Do you think that in other countries, even other countries, that if it were legal for mothers to allow their 6, 7, 8-year-olds to watch your OnlyFans, that they would do that they'd be like, sure, little
Yes
Johnny,
or no
go
question.
ahead.
Yes or no?
Would they allow them to? Is that the question?
Yeah,
Yeah,
would
yes
they
or no?
allow them to?
No.
Well, then there's some kind of shared intuition here for how you are negatively affecting tons and tons and tons of people, because if your assumption is that little Johnny would, if mommy didn't say no, then your intuition's saying that you have a negative impact, isn't it?
Well, according to my knowledge, feelings, and reasons, I'm not aware of any 6-year-olds watching my own. And if they are,
Yeah.
that says a lot to speak about the mother and the parents who are not watching their child well enough.
Yeah, right, but they shouldn't be, right? They shouldn't be doing that?
They shouldn't be, because my content is under a paywall where you have to be 18 years old and have an ID
Yeah,
to
right,
sign
I
up.
get that, but what I'm saying is that there's a shared intuition there then that you share with them. And so this has an effect on all of you doing your hands, in other words, has an effect on people, because if nobody did, no mother anywhere would have to worry about little Johnny watching hands, right?
Well, if you want to put it that way, I think everything in life is about intent. My intent is not for little Johnny to be off to my own. It's for little Johnny's dad to be to my own.
Oh, what a fantastic argument. My intent when I was drunk driving wasn't to mow down that family with my car, so therefore I didn't do anything wrong, right?
I mean, if you want to, you're right. We're not getting anywhere with this conversation.
No, I think we will. So one more time, following your logic then, if I was a drunk driver and said it wasn't my intent to hit anybody, and I didn't do anything wrong, right? Because everything's about intent, right?
Wait, say that again?
Your logic, your argument to me was, I think everything revolves around intent. Everything is intent-based.
Yes.
So if that is the case, and if I was a drunk driver and mowed down an entire family, well, I didn't actually do anything wrong because that wasn't my intent, right?
Well, that you could say that for everyone at this table. Everyone has done things unintentionally to hurt other people.
Yes, but you know what they usually do? You know what non-psychopathic, non-narcissistic, non-lunatics do? If they do something unintentionally to hurt other people, and they know that they've hurt another person, they usually do something about that so that they don't hurt people in the future. Except, women, people who make post hoc justifications for the horrible things that they do, which is horrible for all of society, they just make what I call cope arguments, where they say, no, it's okay because I'm not hurting anybody, even though obviously they share the same intuitions that I do that's bad for society.
Killer of
Just pointing that
Serial
out.
donated $200. All this talk about serial killing is making me hungry. Where's my bowl? No, officer, I was not stabbing that man to death. My intention was to just get some of his blood for a science project.
Right, it's all
okay.
about intent.
Yeah, thank you, Kill of Cereal, for the TTS, man. I appreciate it. Do you have, you want to continue, Andrew, or do you have more?
No, we can move the combo on.